Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban live a life defined by elegance, power, and style. From sprawling estates and private yachts to designer fashion and exclusive vacations, every detail reflects their status at the very top. This is not just celebrity living, it's wealth redefined in motion. Trillionaire real estate. Let us begin in Nashville, Tennessee, the beating heart of country music, where Keith Urban built his reputation and where this couple chose to anchor their lives. Their estate here, often referred to as the Queen of Northumberland property, is no ordinary home. Sprawling across 50 acres of prime Tennessee land, it is an oasis of southern grandeur valued today at nearly $12 million. The mansion itself is a 20-room architectural statement. Within its 7 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms lies a design philosophy that marries classic American opulence with contemporary functionality. There's a home theater, tailor-made for Nicole's love of cinema, a tennis court for family recreation, and an infinity pool where summers stretch into endless afternoons. For Keith, this property serves as more than just a residence. It is also a creative retreat. Nestled within these acres are private recording spaces, where music that would later echo across arenas worldwide was first penned and strummed. Nicole, meanwhile, has described this Nashville estate as her forever home, as noted in People magazine. It is where she envisioned her daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret, to grow up, surrounded by both the serenity of nature and the stability of a grounded family life. Even amid the turbulence of their recent divorce filings, this property has become a focal point. According to court documents, Kidman specifically requested to retain ownership of this residence, underscoring its irreplaceable role in her family's story, Marker confirms. If Nashville is Keith's heartland, then Sutton Forest in New South Wales is Nicole's soul. In 2008, the couple acquired Bunya Hill Farm, a 110-acre historic Georgian estate built in 1878, purchased for $6.5 million. This isn't merely a countryside retreat, it is a love letter to Australia. Set among rolling hills and lush paddocks, the estate's 6-bedroom mansion features a library, a billiards room, guest accommodations, and even Black Angus cattle grazing on its grounds. For Nicole, this property represents continuity, a connection to her family's Australian roots and a place where her daughters could understand the beauty of the land she grew up in. She has often called this farm her cherished escape, a sanctuary away from Hollywood's demands as people details. Over the years, the property has grown in both value and sentimental weight. Once purchased at $6.5 million, it is now worth at least $15.20 million in today's market, according to House Beautiful. But the financials only tell half the story. When Nicole's mother was alive, Bunya Hill was a family hub. It has hosted family reunions, holiday feasts, and quiet moments of reflection. Even today, Kidman continues to use the farm as a base whenever she returns to Australia for extended stays. On social media, aerial shots of the estate have surfaced, with fans commenting on the way the property seems to disappear into the landscape, a hidden fortress of privacy just a few hours outside of Sydney. Ex-users confirm. When Nicole Kidman's film schedule takes her to Los Angeles, the epicenter of the global entertainment industry, she retreats to a residence that reflects both her taste for elegance and her need for practicality. In 2008, the couple purchased a Beverly Hills mansion for $4.7 million, as reported by People. Situated in one of California's most coveted neighborhoods, this 4,000 square foot home is a sleek fusion of Hollywood luxury and private intimacy. With 5 bedrooms, a full-floor master suite, and a wraparound deck overlooking the city, it balances the demands of work and rest. The in-ground pool sparkles like a sheet of glass under the California sun, while the interior, minimalist, modern yet warm, contrasts with the sprawling grandeur of their Nashville estate. For Kidman, this Beverly Hills home isn't about ostentation, it's about proximity. The mansion places her close to the film sets, production meetings, and award season galas that continue to shape her career. It is also the base for Blossom Films, her production company, which has been behind prestige projects like Big Little Lies and The Undoing. The property has more than doubled in value since their purchase, now estimated at $10 million, Lifestyle Asia confirms. But beyond the numbers, this Beverly Hills sanctuary reflects a critical reality. Even Hollywood's brightest star needs a place to retreat, recharge, and recalibrate. From Los Angeles, we now travel eastward to the beating cultural heart of New York City. In 2010, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban acquired one of Manhattan's most coveted residences, a Chelsea duplex penthouse purchased for around $9.60, $10 million. This property is no ordinary apartment. It is a 3-story architectural marvel, complete with a feature that has become something of a celebrity urban legend, the Sky Garage. This exclusive amenity allows the couple to drive their car directly into a private elevator and ascend into their apartment, ensuring that they never have to step into the glare of paparazzi cameras. For a couple who has spent decades being hounded by photographers, the Sky Garage represents not just convenience, but freedom. The penthouse itself spans more than 3,200 square feet, with arched windows that frame Manhattan like a living canvas, and oak floors that ground the modern interiors in warmth and timelessness. It is a place of light, air and security, a sanctuary suspended above the chaos of New York City. Today, its value has soared to $20 million or more, reflecting both the prestige of Chelsea real estate and the uniqueness of its features, as Architectural Digest notes. For Kidman, who has often performed on Broadway and been involved in New York-based projects, this penthouse is more than an investment. It is a stage of its own, one where she can step into the role of mother, wife or artist without the intrusion of flashing bulbs. While the Chelsea penthouse offers sky-high glamour, the couple also sought something more discreet for shorter stays in Manhattan. In 2020, they purchased a Tribeca pied-à-terre for $3.5 million, reported by Taste of Country. This 600-square-foot condo may be smaller by comparison, but it is no less sophisticated. Located in a landmark building, it offers 3 private entrances and garage access, architectural details designed explicitly to outwit the paparazzi. For Kidman and Urban, this isn't the kind of space where you host a glittering soiree. Instead, it is a bolt hole, a cozy, controlled environment where they can slip into New York life unnoticed, whether for an East Coast film premiere or Urban's concerts in nearby arenas. Though modest by their standards, the condo's value remains stable at around $4 million, a testament to the enduring strength of Tribeca's luxury market, OK Magazine highlights. Together, the Chelsea penthouse and Tribeca condo demonstrate a philosophy unique to this couple. One property for visibility, another for invisibility. One to stand tall among the skyline, another to melt into it. But perhaps nowhere is their real estate story more impressive, or more emotionally rooted, than in Sydney, Australia. Over the course of their marriage, Kidman and Urban have quietly acquired more than 6 apartments in the Latitude building at Milson's Point, overlooking the iconic Sydney Harbour, NZ Herald confirms. The total value of these holdings now exceeds $27.40 million, making them the crown jewel of their Australian investments. Among them are combined penthouses, joined to create sprawling layouts with panoramic views of the Harbour Bridge and Opera House. Here, the couple can wake each morning to the sight of ferries gliding across glittering blue waters and the hum of Sydney's cultural heartbeat. For Nicole, who has often spoken about Australia as her true home in my heart, she once described it in the Daily Mail, these apartments are a way to remain tethered to her roots, even while her career spans continents. Beyond the views and finishes, there is a practical side to the Latitude acquisitions. Their proximity to the Sydney Opera House and other cultural landmarks make them convenient bases for both work and pleasure. The building's advanced security systems ensure the family's privacy, while its understated luxury mirrors the couple's own balance of glamour and discretion. In the context of their divorce filings, reports suggest Urban may retain some of these Sydney properties, while Kidman seeks to prioritise holdings that anchor her daughter's sense of stability, like the Nashville estate and Sutton Forest Farm. Their real estate isn't the only luxury the couple enjoys, though. Their vehicle fleet and travel style is another matter entirely. The Trillionaire fleet. For most, travel is a necessity. For Kidman and Urban, it is an art form, an expression of who they are and how they choose to be seen by the world. Each car, each yacht, each aircraft is chosen with the same deliberation as one might select a tailored suit or a diamond necklace. Together, these vessels, on land, sea and air, form the arteries of their global empire, pumping vitality into their lifestyle of luxury and keeping their worlds seamlessly connected. Keith Urban has always been a man drawn to horsepower, not just in his music, but in the machines he commands. His garage in Nashville is not so much a place to store cars as it is a shrine to velocity, engineering and aesthetic beauty. At the center of this collection is his 1969 Ford Mustang Restomod, a piece of Americana reborn. For a man who built his career in the capital of country music, there could be no more fitting symbol than this classic muscle car. Yet Urban's Mustang is no relic. It has been rebuilt, modernized, endowed with a roaring V8 that makes it as quick as it is iconic. The cost of this reinvention is said to exceed $200,000, but what it it represents is priceless, a connection to tradition, elevated by innovation, much like Urban's own approach to music as reported by the Daily Mail. And yet, as much as the Mustang nods to nostalgia, Urban is no stranger to excess. Few collections in the world can boast the sheer presence of a Bugatti Veyron, but Keith Urban's can. The Veyron is not a car so much as a myth made tangible, a hypercar capable of speeds that touch the surreal. At an estimated value of around $3 million, it represents the pinnacle of automotive engineering, the dream of speed incarnate. Its top speed of 253 miles per hour makes it one of the fastest street-legal cars ever produced, and Urban's ownership of such a machine situates him firmly among the elite few who can claim this honor. Hello highlights. Even when it rests silently in his garage, it radiates energy, the kind of power that suggests it could take flight if only given permission. Then there is the Lamborghini Aventador, a gift he once bestowed upon Nicole. With a body sculpted like a blade and doors that rise upward with theatrical flair, the Aventador is the kind of vehicle that transforms every arrival into a red carpet moment. Its 700 horsepower engine delivers acceleration that feels less like driving and more like being launched. Yet Nicole, ever understated, rarely drives it. For her, the Aventador is almost too much, too loud, too extravagant. It sits as a testament to Keith's flamboyance, a showpiece of love and spectacle valued at between $400,000 and $500,000, but one that she keeps at arm's length. His collection extends further into the realm of Italian artistry, with the Ferrari 458 Italia, a car designed as much for curves and elegance as for raw speed. Sleek and crimson, the Ferrari is worth roughly $250,000, but in Urban's hands it is a weekend indulgence, a moment of escape when Nashville's quiet streets or Los Angeles' sun-drenched boulevards call for something with a little more drama. And yet, for all this indulgence, there is still a practical side. His Range Rover Sport, valued at over $100,000, and his Mercedes S-Class, pushing $160,000, form the backbone of family transportation. These are the vehicles that take daughters Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret to school, that move the family between airports, recording studios, and casual outings. Even in these, luxury is non-negotiable. Leather interiors, seamless technology, and the kind of safety that ensures their private life remains protected from the constant gaze of the outside world. Nicole's choices, however, paint a different portrait. While Keith's garage is an ode to spectacle, hers is a whisper of restraint. She's long been spotted behind the wheel of a Subaru Outback, a car valued at a modest $30,000. In a world where celebrities are often photographed climbing out of Lamborghinis or Ferraris, there is something disarmingly human about seeing Nicole Kidman, one of the most glamorous actresses of her generation, pulling up to a Nashville grocery store in a Subaru. It is her rebellion, her quiet statement that luxury is not always loud. Her garage also includes an Audi Q7 SUV, a $54,000 family vehicle chosen for its blend of elegance and safety. This is the car in which she's been photographed around Sydney, ferrying her daughters to events, or in Los Angeles, arriving at meetings with a kind of understated poise that contrasts with Keith's roaring engines. She also owns a BMW 7 Series, valued at $100,000, used for red carpet arrivals and award shows. Here again, Nicole demonstrates a philosophy. Appearances matter, but they need not be ostentatious. Her choices, grounded and deliberate, are less about the spectacle of arrival and more about the assurance of control, comfort, and consistency. Together, their car collections create a fascinating dichotomy, a portrait of a couple united in love but distinct in style. Keith is flamboyant, driven by horsepower and adrenaline, while Nicole is deliberate, guided by restraint and subtle elegance. On social media, fans have often pointed this out, joking that Nicole's Subaru is her silent act of rebellion against Keith's high-octane tastes, as ex-users teased, and perhaps they are right. In her practicality lies her individuality, a refusal to be swept into the spectacle of excess, even while she lives surrounded by it. Yet cars, for all their symbolism, are only one part of their story. To truly understand the scale of their wealth and the opulence of their lifestyle, one must leave the land entirely and step aboard the vessels that carry them across seas. For Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, the ocean is not an obstacle but a playground, and their yacht, the Hokulani, is a palace that floats. At more than 150 feet in length, this Palmer Johnson super yacht is valued between $10 and $15 million. It carries a name that connects to Nicole's Hawaiian roots, Hokulani, meaning heavenly star. It is fitting, for the vessel itself seems celestial in its design. With 3 stories, it houses 5 guest cabins, a glass atrium roof that bathes interiors in light, a jacuzzi that sparkles beneath the sky, and a collection of water toys ranging from jet skis to paddleboards, as Yacht World describes. But the Hokulani is not the only ship they command. At times, they have also been spotted aboard the Infinity Pacific, a 40-meter Italian-built super yacht valued at over $10 million. This vessel, often chartered for family holidays, is a celebration of festivity, a cinema room for watching films at sea, a sun deck for golden afternoons, accommodations for more than 10 guests. The cost of chartering it hovers around $200,000 a week, but for Kidman and Urban, it is not about the money. It is about the ability to gather extended family in Sydney's coastal waters, to celebrate Christmases and birthdays in style, to let the sea become the setting for life's milestones as captured by the Daily Mail. And still, for all their cars and yachts, it is in the air where Kidman and Urban's lifestyle most vividly displays itself. For a couple whose careers span continents, for whom a normal month might mean Los Angeles, Nashville, London and Sydney, private aviation is not a luxury, it is a necessity. They are frequently seen boarding Gulfstream G650ER jets worth around $70 million, aircraft capable of flying non-stop between Los Angeles and Sydney without refueling. For a family that exists simultaneously in Hollywood, Tennessee and Australia, such range is not just convenient, it is essential. Even when they do not use their own aircraft, they charter. The rates are staggering. $10,000 an hour for Gulfstreams or Bombardier jets. But this price buys more than leather seats and champagne service. It buys privacy. It buys security. It buys the ability to slip from one life into another without interruption. Recently, paparazzi caught them boarding a Gulfstream in Los Angeles, en route to Nicole's film premiere for Baby Girl and Keith's Las Vegas residency. The sight of them walking calmly across the tarmac, stepping into the kind of jet most people will never even see up close, was a reminder of the seamlessness their wealth affords, as ex-users documented. The costs of ownership are astronomical. Maintenance alone can exceed $1 million a year, not including crew salaries, fuel or hangar fees. But to Nicole and Keith, these costs are simply the price of freedom. For them, the world is not vast. It is intimate, compressed into a series of flights that allow them to move with the ease of thought itself. Travel, then, is not merely a function of their lives, but an extension of their identities. Keith's Bugatti Veyron and Ferrari 458 Italia are adrenaline incarnate, symbols of the energy he brings to stage and song. Nicole's Subaru and Audi are quiet statements of stability, reflections of her grounded approach to family and fame. Their yachts are floating worlds, designed not just for leisure but for memory-making, vessels where daughters learn to swim in the Pacific, where family toasts are made as waves break against steel hulls. And their jets, those silver birds streaking across the sky, are arteries of connection, carrying them from the bright lights of Hollywood to the quiet farms of Sutton Forest, from the skyscrapers of New York to the harbors of Sydney. For Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, to live is to move, and to move is to do so in style. Their cars, their yachts, their jets are not accessories. They are instruments in a symphony of motion, each playing its part in a composition of luxury and love, of spectacle and subtlety. When they arrive not as passengers but as masters of an art, the art of arrival itself. Trillionaire vacation, fashion and everything else. To understand the true rhythm of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's lives, one must go beyond the cars, beyond the yachts, beyond the jets that ferry them across continents. Movement is only one part of their wealth's performance. The other part is stillness and the moments they choose to spend when they are not working. For Kidman and Urban, vacation is not simply about rest. It is about curation, about creating a tapestry of experiences that reflect who they are, where they come from, and the family they're raising together. Each trip, each indulgence, each carefully chosen outfit in their daily lives forms another brushstroke in the portrait of two people who have learned to balance stardom with intimacy, excess with restraint, spectacle with grounding. When they vacation, they do not simply book a flight and stay at a resort. They transform destinations into sanctuaries. In Australia, Nicole's heart always pulls her back to Bunya Hill or to Sydney's Palm Beach. There is a deep yearning in her to connect her daughters to the land she grew up in, a desire for them to walk barefoot on Australian soil, to feel the salt of the Pacific on their skin, to know that even with parents as globally famous as theirs, there is still something constant and grounding in the red earth and green paddocks of New South Wales. It is not uncommon to see them take family retreats to the coast, setting sail from Pittwater aboard their yacht, slipping into waters secluded enough to ensure that the only sound is the splash of their daughters diving in. These retreats are less about luxury in the traditional sense, and more about a luxury of privacy, a kind of wealth that cannot be purchased outright but only safeguarded with great care, as the Daily Mail observed. Europe offers a different rhythm. For Nicole, who has spent decades on the film festival circuit, places like the Italian Riviera and the French coastline are both playgrounds and professional stages. In 2019, the couple was spotted in Italy basking on the Amalfi Coast, an escape that blended glamour with family togetherness. There, villas worth $50,000 a week became temporary homes, where days were filled with the aroma of Mediterranean cuisine, afternoons of languid sunbathing, and evenings where the world's most famous actress could laugh without the need for cameras. In France, Cannes has often been their destination destination, a place where Nicole's films frequently premiere. Here, their vacations blur with their professional lives, a glamorous continuum where Nicole's gowns sweep across red carpets, while Keith mingles with Europe's music elite. The United States offers its own kind of indulgence for the couple, though here the focus is often on activity rather than relaxation. In Aspen, the family has enjoyed ski trips, a chance to trade the heat of Australia or Tennessee for snow-covered slopes and chalet fireplaces. Clad in designer winterwear, Nicole's statuesque presence cuts as striking a figure on the slopes as it does on the red carpet. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, their Nashville farm becomes a stage for Keith's barbecues, gatherings that are no less luxurious for being rooted in simplicity. For him, there is joy in blending the grandeur of their estates with something as elemental as fire, smoke, and guitar music under the stars. Fans have often shared stories of Urban's casual charm in these moments, proof that beneath the trappings of celebrity lies a man who relishes the community, as fans on X have documented. The pandemic years changed the shape of their travel, forcing a reset that Nicole herself acknowledged. After enduring quarantine in Hong Kong during filming and watching Keith adapt his performances to virtual concerts, the family's decision to return to Australia was deliberate. Nicole described it as a healing choice, a way to remind themselves of their foundation, to give their daughters continuity in a world that had grown increasingly unpredictable. She once remarked that her daughters' passports had more stamps than most octogenarians, a statement that was both humorous and telling of the lives they lead, drifting between continents as if they were cities on a map rather than oceans apart. Of course, travel is only one dimension of indulgence. Daily life for Kidman and Urban is stitched with the kind of luxuries that are both visible and invisible. Fashion, for instance, is as much a language as it is a necessity. Nicole Kidman has become synonymous with red carpet perfection, her wardrobe a rotating display of couture from the world's most revered houses. Balenciaga, Chanel, Dior, each gown she wears carries price tags that range from $10,000 to $100,000, but beyond cost, they carry symbolism. For Nicole, fashion is armor, a way to move through a world that constantly scrutinizes her. And yet, she wears it not with ostentation, but with an elegance that makes extravagance appear effortless. Her daughter, Sunday Rose, has already begun to inherit this relationship with fashion. Spotted at events in Miu Miu, Sunday presents herself with the kind of poise that suggests the Kidman-Urban legacy is as much about taste as it is about talent. Keith, too, plays his part in the fashion performance. His stage outfits, crafted by Gucci or Saint Laurent, can exceed $5,000 a night, each tailored to reflect his role as both country music star and global rock presence. Together, when they step onto red carpets or arrive at galas, they are not simply dressed. They are curated, embodying a synergy that amplifies both their identities, as the Economic Times highlights. But fashion is not their only daily indulgence. Dining, too, reflects their ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. In Nashville, they are known regulars at Bastion, an establishment renowned for its intimate tasting menus and artistic approach to food. In Sydney, Aria becomes their stage, with sweeping views of the Opera House and plates that are as beautiful as they are flavorful. When homebound, private chefs cater to their vegan-leaning diet, ensuring that every meal is not only sumptuous but aligned with Nicole's commitment to sustainability. Even their simplest dinners are layered with intention, each ingredient chosen for its quality, its ethical sourcing, its ability to nourish not just body but image. Then there are the indulgences that are less about necessity and more about desire. Cartier jewelry, Miu Miu accessories, runway seats at Paris Fashion Week. These are the privileges that come with being cultural icons, and yet woven among these are philanthropic gestures that remind the world that wealth, for them, carries responsibility. Their donations to Australian fire relief in 2020 totaled $500,000, a sum that underscores how quickly they will leverage their privilege to respond to the crisis. In Nashville, too, they have supported local charities, sometimes by hosting fundraisers at their own estate. People reports, vacations, indulgences, fashion. These are not simply excesses. For Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, they are the currencies through which they communicate identity. When they vacation, they tell the world that family and roots remain central, even amidst global stardom. When they indulge, they remind us that simplicity and excess can coexist. When they dress, they reassert their status as arbiters of style, individuals who do not follow trends but set them. It is here, in the rhythm of their daily choices, that we see the architecture of their empire most clearly. They have mastered not only the art of motion, but the art of pause, the art of pleasure, and the art of presence. Thanks for watching. Check out other cards on the screen.